Welcome back to the K and
Show.
all right. So me and Big O are just fresh off a college football game yesterday. We went to watch my alma mater, Campbellsville University, play Georgetown, and the winner was probably going to win the Mid South Conference, which gives you an automatic bid to the playoffs. And we'll go into that a little bit later. But we did that yesterday. Had a good time at Campbellsville. Saw a lot of old friends. Some of my kids that train were over there, so we talked to them. Had a really good time. So, first game we'll talk about is the late game last night was BYU Utah, Big O, 22-21. Really a nip and tuck game all the way through. And man, BYU just in the fourth quarter, bless you, in the fourth quarter comes out of nowhere, scores 9 points, ends up winning this thing. Really, the ultimate downfall, though, Big O, was what for Utah?
Utah had 3 turnovers, which, that's always not good.
No, it's
and
not.
And they let BYU get a kick return.
Yeah, so they got 6 points off a big kick return, so that's 6 points that, you don't really account for, so special teams failed on that one. So you take that 6 points off the board, Utah wins it. 22-21, like I said, close. But the big deal, though, here is now BYU is 9-0. BYU is undefeated. They're looking really good to win the Big 12, but I think it's probably going to come down to your Colorado Buffaloes, Big O.
Yeah.
If Colorado owns their destiny, they've just got to win out. They'll play BYU for the Big 12 championship, and then that's a playoff berth. So we'll see how that plays out. Our next one was not much of a game.
Yeah.
Owen did say Miss Elizabeth should be very happy about this game. So, Danny, make sure and tell Elizabeth that Big O was thinking about her because last night, Bama looked like Bama of old. I mean, LSU's offense is good. Like, I love their quarterback. I like their offense. They score on everybody. They didn't last night, did they, Big O?
No.
And how many touchdowns did Milroe have rushing?
4 touchdowns rushing.
4 touchdowns running the ball. Probably one of his best games I've ever seen him play. Decision making, throwing the football, running the ball. He was clicking on all cylinders. They knew they had to win this game to stay in the playoffs, didn't they, Big O? Do you think that's the best you've seen Bama look all year?
Aside that Georgia game, yeah.
Sure. Well, remember, though, that Georgia game, they only played one half because they came out that second half and laid an egg, and Georgia came back on them, and it was close. I feel like this was a complete game because Bama had 311 rushing yards. I don't know, Big O, if they had that many yards all year in a game. I don't think so, have they? No. Now, a lot of it was Milroe's, running with his legs, but, I mean, it was utter domination. For me, the turning point was, I think it was 14-6, I think. And they're down at like the 10-yard line, and LSU quarterback throws it, and man, what a pick by one of the DBs or linebackers for Bama. Picks it off right there, gets a touchback, and then Bama gets the ball, drives all the way down, and scores. It makes it, 21, might have been 21-3, but I thought it was 6. But anyways, for me, that was a turning point. I felt like LSU quit after that. But great game for Bama. So hopefully, Elizabeth, you're very happy this morning waking up to that. Moving right along, number 3 team in the country, Big O.
Goes down against Ole Miss.
Down, didn't they? So in that game, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think Ole Miss was going to get curb stomped, or what did you think?
Honestly, I thought it was going to be a close game, but I thought Georgia was going to pull it out because
Sure, they're Georgia.
And Ole Miss is not the best this year, but not bad. But I think Georgia's a better team.
Well, who beat Ole Miss? Who beat them?
Kentucky.
Kentucky beat Ole Miss. That's why Big O said they're not the best this year. But, boy, they look good. Man, their defense was absolute lights out all night long. How many sacks did Georgia give up, Big O? 5. Ole Miss swarming to the ball like crazy. And then also their defense only allowed, How many yards rushing for Ole Miss, Big O?
59.
Ooh, only 59 yards rushing for the Bulldogs. That's not a good recipe. Now, Big O made a very, I don't want to say bold because these are just now Big O statements. They're not even bold statements. They're just stuff he says. What did you say last night about Missouri's quarterback?
I said that Brady Cook is better than Carson Beck.
So all year they've been telling us how great Carson Beck is, and Big O just, rolls up. It's like, nah, Brady Cook's way better. Now remember too, Big O called Missouri complete fraud. So for him to say Carson Beck is less a quarterback than Brady Cook, who plays for a fraud team, it's a pretty big deal. But Beck has not really looked good, I don't think, Big O, the last, 3-4 games?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't look good against Kentucky, did he?
No, he has more interceptions than Brock Vandergriff, which is...
Oh, wow. That's pretty big. So, but I think Ole Miss also forced 3 turnovers to Georgia. Yeah. And, that you can't win like that. And it just did not look like a Georgia team, did it, Big O? That didn't look good at all. So, Georgia goes down. Number 3 is down. And then you go to the number 4 team, which my heart felt so good about this yesterday. So me and Big O didn't miss a lot of stuff. Big O would have his phone, and we'd be watching football while we were watching football. So watching the Campbellsville-Georgetown game yesterday, and then we would turn and we would watch Georgia Tech and Miami because, well, quite frankly, Miami got down, didn't they?
Yeah.
So now they were up. I think it was 10, might have been 10-7. Georgia Tech scores. Final score is 23-28. But what have we been watching all year with Miami, Big O? All the time they're just on the edge, aren't they?
Yeah. First, they have a beautiful offense, and then the defense. It showed in the Louisville game. It was like 60-50. But
Yep.
defenses were horrible.
Bad.
And
Yeah, so me and Big O always say that Miami's got a top 5 offense and a bottom feeder defense. And it showed yesterday because they gave up, how many yards rushing there, Big O?
271 yards rushing.
Almost 300 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Now, Georgia Tech's going to run the football. They've been doing it all year. And Miami's not very good stopping the run. So it was going to be, something had to give here. Now, usually we see these comebacks from Cam Ward, don't we?
Yeah. And it didn't
Now,
happen.
yesterday, me and Big O were sitting there. They get the ball back. It's 23-28.
Yeah.
Miami gets the ball back.
They're on the 20-yard line.
All right. Now, what did you think when they got the ball back, Big O? Is he going to do this again where he goes down and they score and win the game? Did you think that was going to happen?
No, Georgia Tech's defense is too good for that.
Wow.
And only letting the top 5 team only have 23 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a top 5 team that I think is averaging almost 45 to 45 or something like that a game. Their offense is lights out, and Cam Ward's really good. Without Cam Ward, what do you think Miami's record is? So right now they're 8-1.
All right. They have a good receiver, Gore.
Well, Restrepo and a couple other guys are really good. Good running back.
Good lineman.
Good offensive line, I think. I don't think they're terrible.
Defense.
Bad defense.
I would say they probably go 8 and.
They can't go 8. They're 8-1 right now.
I thought they're 9-1. I'd say
No.
6.
So they had to come back against Cal.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably feel like if Cam Ward
Virginia
orchestrated
Tech.
that, Virginia Tech, so that's 2 games right there. The Louisville game, Cam kept them in it.
This one, so 4.
Right, so they would probably be, 500-ish?
Yeah.
5-4 maybe or something like that. Yeah, without Cam Ward, me and Big O. Now, we've been saying, it's kind of funny how stuff we'll say on here all of a sudden happens. We kept telling you Penn State was a fraud, and they were. Greg McElroy came on his show the other day and said it. He goes, can we please quit putting Penn State up here? And we're going to do it again because number 3 and number 4 lost. And I say we, don't put me in that idiot bunch. 3 and 4 lost. Now, they're going to bump the people up. So what they're going to do is Penn State's 6. They're going to bump them up. So they're going to be right back up in the top again. And they don't deserve it, do they, Big O?
No.
They're not. you're not good. I'm sorry. You're okay, but you're not an elite team, and they're going to be right back up there.
Their offense is as bad as Kentucky's and Florida State's. It's
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
they don't score. Like
What?
the only score they had basically against.
I want to apologize to all of my Pennsylvania friends right now because the insult that Big O just gave you all is wow. Any Penn State fans out there, please don't take it out on my little buddy. He is just speaking what he believes to be the truth. Now, I don't believe that. Penn State is definitely better than Florida State's offense, especially if you watched it last night.
No,
55
Kentucky's-
yards
Kentucky's-
passing.
Kentucky's.
Now, Kentucky's got a better defense or better offense than Florida State does.
Yeah,
But you think Penn State's offense is about as blah as Kentucky's?
yeah. I mean, at this point, their defense needs to be their offense.
Wow.
I mean, you saw in the Ohio State game, like it was 10-0. That only touchdown was a pick six. And
I mean, Big O is coming out blazing. He is blazing. All right. So there you go. Penn State, sorry. Now, here's what I do think will happen. I think Miami will be in the ACC championship game against SMU. I think that'll happen. We both agree on that. Me and Big O think that's going to happen. SMU, I don't see. I hate to say this because we've seen so much crazy stuff all year. I don't see a big roadblock for SMU all the way to the championship game. And I don't think and Miami will get the nod over Clemson because they beat Louisville. So it beat Miami and SMU if Miami does not lose another game. If. We'll see what happens. Shout out to Army, 9-0. Here's a little Owen fact for you. Army had a 15, no, it was more than that, 24 play drive that consumed 13 minutes and 52 seconds.
Did they just run the ball?
92 yards. So 92 yards, taking up 13 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock. Touchdown drive.
How long is a quarter?
15.
15.
So almost the entire. Can you imagine that, Big O? Your defense is on the field for 14 minutes almost straight. That's crazy.
Your defense must be getting.
Yeah. So Army just, I mean, now they didn't win huge yesterday, but they still won. They're 9-0. Still cruising along. No Louisville game, no Kentucky game. So we'll go Seville game. Great game, wasn't it, Big O?
Yeah.
It was back and forth. And man, hits.
Defensive game.
Woo, big defensive game. And man, there was some pop and wonder.
Yeah.
We saw one kid get helicoptered. One kid thought he was going to hurdle. And about halfway in the air, a kid catches him blindside. Whew. I mean, there was some hits yesterday. I've always said the only difference in NAIA football and Division I football is more speed and more size. The hits, they still hurt. Same. And there was some hitting yesterday. Started out, me and Big O thought it was going to be a rout. Thought Georgetown was just going to walk away with it.
Yeah, Georgetown just ran down the field.
Yeah, I mean, just chunk play, scored. Campbellsville gets out there, their offense does nothing. Georgetown comes back out, they're moving the ball again, then they get a penalty, forced a punt. Campbellsville still not moving the ball. So this went on for the whole quarter, didn't it, Big O?
2 quarters.
Yeah. So we get down to the very last, it's 7-0. Georgetown has the ball, 4th and 1, goal to go here. They could score. And I said, he brought out the field goal unit, calls a timeout, puts his offense back out there. I said go for it because as bad as Campbellsville's offense was playing and as good as Georgetown's defense was playing, you'd pin them on the 1. So worst case scenario, you don't get the touchdown, but they're not going to bring this ball out. Well, buddy, was I wrong? Campbellsville comes out from the 1, right, Big O?
Yes.
First play, 25-yard pass play. Next play, 25-yard pass play. Next play, and there's like a minute. No, there's 50 seconds left, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just run the ball and try to get
They had another. They had 2 25-yard pass plays.
Yeah.
Then they.
This was at the 1. So that right now they started at the 1.
Started at the 1,
And
so
then
now they're up to the 40.
Yeah.
So they drive it on down and get it to where they can get a field goal. And they hit it. So now it's 7-3 going into half, and it changes the game completely. Comes back out again, back and forth, and pick 6. And I don't know what happened here. I don't know if the quarterback for Campbellsville got hurt, but they put a new quarterback in who looked a little more athletic, and they started running more of the read option. And then the kid rears back and decides he'll throw right to a Georgetown kid.
I don't know if the receiver, I saw him. I don't think the quarterback did. I think he was betting or something because he threw it right to him. Like it was spot on.
Well, Big O is not lying. I don't know if he thought his receiver was going to be there or wasn't, but there was one Campbellsville guy down here covered up, and then there was another Georgetown guy, and he throws it directly to that kid. And the kid runs it all the way back. So kudos to the Seville defense. Big time kudos to Seville defense. Because really, honestly, they only gave up 10 points for the game. They gave 10 points up for that entire game, which was pretty amazing. So Campbellsville gets it together. They go down and score, and it's 17-10. 17-10 with couple minutes left, something like that.
It's like a minute.
And Campbellsville gets down there, scores, ties it up, makes it 17-all, and they get the ball back. So it's 17-all. Campbellsville gets the ball back again, has to punt. Only about 15 seconds left. Ball, Georgetown gets it.
Yeah.
And I think they got, actually they got sacked.
Yeah, and then it was a fumble, and then we forgot to.
So 17-all, we go to overtime, and me and Big O were sitting there thinking, all right, let's see what happens here. First play, dude throws an absolute dime to the receiver at the 2-yard line. Next 2 plays, Georgetown scores. So they go up 24-17.
Yeah, we expected that. We expected
We
they
did.
were going to score.
We did. So that didn't surprise us. Now this next play surprised us. Kid gets the handoff, breaks a tackle,
We think he's going.
gets outside, and I'm like, oh man, he's got some grass. This linebacker comes out of nowhere for Georgetown, reaches in, snags the ball out, fumble. Georgetown gets on it. Ball game. Crappy way to go out like that, but
That's how Miami lost.
right. So go into overtime for the conference championship. Pretty pleased with the way they're playing. Just want to say shout out to the coaching staff at Campbellsville. You have made this old alumni proud again, because I was not proud of the product that was being put on the field for the last 10 years. So I'm really proud to see those guys battling and fighting and moving forward. Also want to give a shout out to my boy Carson Mattingly. He got me and Owen tickets for the game. Appreciate you. Also want to give a shout out Asia, one of my kids that goes to Campbellsville. She's getting her nursing. She's going into nursing. Great girl. She did track and volleyball for the first 2 or 3 years over there, and just too much going on educationally for her right now. So she is doing fantastic, and I'm just much happier that she is going to be a very, very productive citizen in this world. That girl is a hustler. She works all the time. So glad to see that. We'd like to see them win, but me and Big O were happy to see that game. It was pretty good. Next week, I've got another full roster of great games. We'll be back on that. And very soon, probably next week or a week after, Big O will start bringing you his basketball report. This could be scary because the man never has notes. So I don't know what he's going to talk about. But knowing him, there's no telling, because he'll come up with something. What else you got, Big O? How about yesterday? Anything that sticks out to you, or?
I was happy I didn't have to see Kentucky play, but I did see their basketball team play, so that made up for it.
Just happy you didn't see the
Mark
football, huh?
I wanted to see the other Mark play. So
Not Mark
Coach.
Stoops, but the Pope, huh?
yeah.
All right. All right, that's all we got. Again, big thanks, Carson Madley, for the tickets, my friend. Really appreciate you. Also, shout out to all my teammates and people I saw back at Campbellsville. Really happy to see you guys and everybody doing well. All right, we will see you guys next week. Later.